got a problem, don't care what it is. If you need a hand, I can assure you this. I can help. I got two strong arms, I can help.
Here we go, it's Friday.
It would sure do me good.
It's Friday. Yeah, let's turn Billy off before Facebook kicks us out. All right, here we go. Friday. Howdy, Dad here. It's time for lunch with Dad. How are you this week? Just want to say hello. Let's start talking about Walt Disney World. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. As I do every week, or I'm supposed to. Let me introduce myself. My name is Carl Trent, but you might know me as Dad from Dad's Guide to WDW.com, and I believe going to Walt Disney World is a great thing. I believe it's simple, fun, and magic. I even got a book with that title, Simple, Fun, Magic. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a minute. All right, so let's get started. First thing we got to do today is say thank you to our partners from Celebration Shirts. As always, celebrationshirts.com. They sponsor Lunch with Dad. Go over there and look at their website this week. They've got some brand new holiday decorations. Holiday designs just out yesterday, as a matter of fact. Josh sent me a note this morning and said, take a look at them. Just pretty cool. Also, Josh is at Walt Disney World. If you see him, go by and say hello. He might even give you a shirt. He's kind of that kind of guy. So celebrationshirts.com, give him a look. Check out their Facebook page. I know this morning he was giving away shirts right on the Facebook page. So get in touch with our buddies at celebrationshirts.com. They'll take great care of you if you've got a trip coming up. They'll help you get your... something's not working here. Help you get everything set up and ready to go. Happy first day of fall. Thank you, Carol. It is the first day of fall, although it's going to be like 90 degrees here in Oklahoma, so maybe 95. It's supposed to be hot here. Get cold next week, but it is the first day of fall. Anyway, so what are we going to do today? Today, I like to always talk about the plan. We'll be talking about planning a little bit more in a little bit. I like to talk about the plan. So the plan of the week right here, let's look. We're going to start out with a rant this week. A pretty good rant this week about characters and character interactions. Then we'll do the news, Dad's tip of the week. Questions, your questions. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments and we'll get to them at the end in about 30 minutes or so. I've only got 3 questions this week from our Ask Dad page. So if you've got questions, this is a good week to ask your questions about Walt Disney World. And then we'll close with my final thoughts. All right, starting out, too much stuff on my desk. If you could just see this setup that we use every week, it's a mess. One of these days, I'm going to get my phone out and just take a picture so you can see what I deal with every week on this. All right, so let's talk about characters and character interactions. Last week, there was this news item about how some restaurants are going to where characters are just handing out signature cards instead of signing autograph books and things. There's been such a change over the years of character interactions. I remember when I first started going to Walt Disney World 37 years ago, interactions with characters was a lot different. It was spontaneous. You never really knew when you were going to run into characters. Yeah, there were a few character meals, but actually, the first time we went, I don't think there was. Maybe Cinderella's Royal Table, but there weren't. There was just the Magic Kingdom back then. So character interaction was just, hey, Mickey showed up. Let's go say hello to Mickey. There's Donald. Hi, Donald. And it wasn't so scheduled where you have to get in line. You have to go to a character meal. It's become really corporate, using that word, where things are really scheduled and Are you going to go to a character meal? Are you going to stand in an hour-long line and hope you get time with the characters? I remember back when we first took the kids, our first trip with the kids, we went to Hollywood Studios, and this was back when Teenage Mutant, I want to say this word right because man-child always said it wrong, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. He was a huge Turtles fan. He had his turtle shirt on. He's 4 years old at the time, almost 5, but 4 years old at the time. He had his turtle shirt on. He had his turtle hat on. He loved the Turtles. It was his favorite show. So we went to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show. He used to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He got those backwards. So it's hard for me to say. I got to think about saying it right. So we went to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show, and he was in heaven. After the show was over, here come the boys down, and they all signed his hat. They all signed his character, his autograph book too. April, I think, was the name of the girl in the show. April comes down and she signed. Oh, she fawned over him. She just loved on him. It was just the best experience ever. But we didn't expect all of them. We didn't have to line up. It was just they came out into the audience, very spontaneous. That same trip, the first day we're over, our second or third, one of our days we're over in Epcot, and we're waiting for the countries to open. And I believe it's the first day. We're waiting for the countries to open. And here comes this pink car driving over from the back part of Epcot up into the front. It's Barbie. It's the Barbie car. The princess was just going nuts. Here comes Barbie. Like the man-child and the turtles, she loved Barbie. So we had to go and see Barbie and talk to Barbie, but it was real spontaneous. The internet has had a really bad effect on, back then we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all the books that had all the times when the characters would be out, nowhere to go. You just had to show up and kind of hope that you kind of hoped that you saw them, but you didn't expect it. And now it's become very, I've already said it 3 times, scheduled, corporate, whatever. It seems like the death of spontaneity characters. So I don't think that's a good thing. I wish we could find a way to go back to the days where it was just spontaneous and fun and not so, oh, Mom, do I have to stand in another line to get the character autographs? I think that it has lost some of the magic. All right, that's the rant for the week. Promise we won't do any more of that. Okay, enough ranting this week. All right, how about the news this week? Not a lot of news this week. It's kind of been a slow week. It's kind of a slow time. September, crowds are down. Kind of a slow time transitioning between summer and fall. So the news of this week kind of reflects that. Number one, the news of Fort Wilderness Campground finally opened back up this week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday that the campground opened back up. Jungle Cruise is running. Disney has pretty well got everything back going after Irma. Now there's still a lot of places where you can see damage from trees, but those will get fixed. It's just going to take some time. There's a lot of damage. It really tore things up. Irma really tore things up. But all the rides are back up, and it seems like everything's back and ready to go. That's cool. All right, second item, minivans. We haven't heard about minivans for a couple weeks. Been working with some other things with the hurricane and everything. But minivans added a new location this week, the Grand Floridian. I think a couple of weeks ago, the last time we talked about minivans, might have been 3 weeks ago, they had just added the Wilderness Lodge, and I predicted they'd go to the Contemporary next. I said it would be one of the monorail hotels, but I predicted the Contemporary. I was right about it would be one of the monorail hotels. I just switch it in, they'll start with. So my supposition, what I predict is next week we'll hear minivans came to the Polynesian. We'll see. I've been sort of right most of the time, but we'll see about minivans next week. This week they moved in the models back at the D23 Expo. They had models set up for Star Wars Land and Toy Story Land. And they've added those models now to the Walt Disney Presents, what used to be One Man Stream, now Walt Disney Presents, and they've got those models in there so you can see what's going to open up in Toy Story Land next summer and Star Wars Land in 2019. So you can see what that's going to look like. Excuse me, my little shoulder problem here, kind of need some support. So you can see what's going on in 2019 in those lands. You'll be able to see those models, very detailed, very intricate models, really, really cool. I can't wait to see them. We'll talk about that again in a few minutes. All right, and the last news item, I don't know if this is really a news item, but I like it. They added a new magic shot this week to the magic, or they're getting ready to add a new magic shot. This one is cool. It's a huge Dole Whip in your picture, so it looks like you've got like a 5-foot tall Dole Whip in front of you, and you're getting ready to go drink a go eat a 5-foot tall Dole Whip. Now that is just cool. I got to get me one of them. All right, that's the news of the week. So, speaking of a little bit of news, if you haven't already ordered your 2018 calendar, our Walt Disney World Magazine calendar, the 2018 calendar, Walt Disney World After Dark, beautiful. A beautiful, beautiful calendar. Just fantastic. We always do a beautiful, beautiful calendar. This year, I think we've outdone ourselves. Beautiful calendar. We got a sale going on this week. It's free shipping for everybody that orders between now and Sunday. So get your orders in this week. You get free shipping, and you get stickers. These sticker things are so cool. There's 30 stickers that come with the calendar, and they've got things like Magic Kingdom Day, got it over here where you can't see, Animal Kingdom Day, Hollywood Studios Day, Epcot Day, there's birthdays, there's Happy Birthday, there's Disney Springs Day, there's movie nights, there's just all kinds of cool stickers that you can use on your calendar. By the way, do you put stickers on your calendar? Do you? I mean, I put these things up. A lot of people tell me they love them, but do you actually use them? Do you put your stickers on your calendar if you've got a calendar? If you do, and I don't think you can send pictures, but it would be cool if you could send pictures. Love to see your pictures of your stickers on your calendar. Anyway, order those by Sunday and get free shipping. I think Lindsay, she's got it right. Calendars are great. They really are. They're just beautiful this year. Can't wait to get them in your hands. Got a bunch of them out already. But go ahead and order this week by Sunday and get free shipping. They'll be available all the time, but Sunday you get free shipping. All right, here we go. It's time for Dad's Tip of the Week. All right, a trip Bible. How many of you put together a trip Bible when you go to Walt Disney World? Mrs. Mom always does a trip Bible, and I think that's very, very important. I think everybody needs a trip Bible when you go to Walt Disney World. In fact, I got this note this week from Carol. Carol said, we will be there December 7th through 17th. It's our first visit, and without your blog, I couldn't have done it. I have planned everything myself, where to stay, where to eat, what day at what park, what extras to do, and I am extremely excited. I have made a binder with all of our trip information. My husband says I'm crazy, which is probably true. I mean, we only have 79 more days. I wanted to say thank you for all you do. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, the only thing I have left to do is to book our fast passes. Carol. Carol, that's great. I think it's important. I think your husband will find out just how great you, and not crazy, although you might be crazy. We're all a little crazy, right? How great it is to have a trip Bible. That's one of the things I talk about a whole lot in the book, in Dad's Simple Fun Magic Guide to Walt Disney World Planning. I break down all the steps to planning. One of the first things I talk about is putting together a binder, or as I call it, a trip Bible, to gather all your papers and things together. Mrs. Mom does a great job about this. Let's just read a little bit right out of the book. You're going to want to create your own trip Bible, or whatever you want to call it. Trip Bibles in quotes. Mrs. Mom's Trip Bible has everything, every piece of paper we could possibly need for the trip. In just a few seconds, Mrs. Mom can whip out a reservation number or a menu on the spot. It really comes in handy. The frustrating thing is that she always beat me when I try to pull things up on my app. So would you like to know what's in Mrs. Mom's Trip Bible? Let's see if I can just turn one page. Mrs. Mom's Trip Bible has travel information, airlines, hotels, rental car, tickets, special events, restaurant menus, table service, quick service, airport restaurants, yes, even the airport restaurants, advanced dining reservation, confirmation numbers, passports, park hours, itinerary cards. Yeah, she makes her own itinerary cards. So every day we've got a little itinerary card. Appropriate get down to business pages and the plan. Mrs. Mom's Trip Bible is very organized. It's broken up into days. Each day has its own plastic sleeve with papers for that day. Each morning we get a sleeve for the day and throw it in the backpack and we're off. And then I talk about other people that have trip Bibles. We have some examples of other trip Bibles right there on the website, simplefunmagic.com. It's really, really important that you have some kind of organization. I know a lot of us. I'm a very plastic, I'm very app, a very phone. You know, I got my phone, I've got my iPad, I've got my laptop. That's the way I live. Mrs. Mom, though, is very paper, and we talk about in the book, paper versus plastic. You've got to have a combination of both, and a Trip Bible, I think, is essential. So Dad's tip of the week is you need to get a Trip Bible for your next trip. All right, that's the tip of the week. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, I think I better mention that I'm going to Walt Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. It's, let's see, the countdown timer says 35 days. So I will be at Walt Disney World October 29th through November 5th. And I want to meet you. I want to say hello to you. I want to hear your stories. I want to shake your hand. I want to give you pins and pens, maybe one or two of these. The book. And I even have a gift card every day. The first person that comes up and says hello to me every day, I will give you a gift card. So you want to know where to find Dad? Well, we'll post that on our Facebook page every morning, every day. We'll post little where in the world are Dad and Mrs. Mom type things. We'll post that every day in the Facebook page. But also, if you go over to the blog page, we've got a blog page, it's a blog post that talks about where Dad will be at Walt Disney World, which park will be in each day, and kind of our rough plan for us. Just go over and look, and you'll see where you can meet Dad and Mrs. Mom. And we'd love to meet you. So go look. Stephanie, I'm sure, has got that already down in the comments so you can know where to go. All right, here we go. Time for our questions. Man, we've flown through this. We're way ahead of schedule. All right, so question time. If you've got a question, be sure to put it down in the comments, and we'll get to questions here in a little bit. Oh, sounds like a windstorm. Well, let me turn that off. Maybe that'll help with the windstorm. I've got a fan running in the background to cool off my laptop. So turn the windstorm off. Let's see how we go. We've got about 4 questions. If you have a question, this is the time to ask. I've only got 3. It won't take me too long. So I'll start answering your questions in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll get right to them. All right. Stephanie tells me much better with the fan off. All right. Good. Sorry about that. This laptop, this new system is straining my laptop. All right. So here we go. This first question doesn't have a name on it, but I am thinking, here's the question. I am thinking of booking a family suite with my family. However, we are all grown adults. My husband and I, a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 24-year-old. We have looked at 2 rooms at one of the value resorts, but we would like to spend as much time together as possible. Do you think the pull-out couch and pull-down bed would accommodate the 20-somethings? We don't spend much time in the hotels when we go. We are more about the parks. This is the first time going with 5 instead of just 4 in the family. All right, so first thing I would suggest, if you haven't already made your reservation, is that you get in touch with our partners at Destinations to Travel. This is one of the things they specialize in, is helping you choose a room, helping you pick which room is best for you and your family. And I asked one of their agents to answer the question for you so you could kind of see what they're thinking. So Chris Boyer, one of their agents at Destinations to Travel, sent in this answer. And it's exactly, I'd already kind of put up an answer, and this is exactly what I would have said. So here's what Chris says. The family suites are, according to Disney, able to sleep 6 adults. Having full-grown adults in one of these rooms, however, will get a bit cramped. Family suites at the Art of Animation Resort has a total of 3 beds, 2 of them being double-sized beds and 1 of them a queen bed. They could, in theory, hold 6 full-grown adults. The folks sharing the double-sized beds may not experience a restful night's sleep. That suite does have 2 bathrooms, which will make getting ready in the morning much easier. The All-Star Music Resort also has family suites, but these suites have a different bed configuration than the Art of Animation family suites. At the All-Star Music, you get a total of 4 beds, 1 queen bed, 1 double-sized sleeper sofa, and 2 other twin beds. One is in a chair, has a pull-out bed, and the second one is a sleeper. Oh, I can't read that word. It sleeps. Your family of 5 fits fine in the All-Star Music Suites, and you and your husband can share the queen bed while the other 3 adults get their own bed. I think that's very important. The other option would be to book 2 rooms at a value resort. Then the new renovations to the Pop Century are bringing in queen-size bed, so your family of 5 would have a total of 4 queen beds at your disposal. Now, one of the queen beds will be one of the new renovated Innova beds where it folds down out of the wall, and the other one would be a full-size queen bed. Since this renovation has started in the rooms furthest away from the dining hall, booking a standard room would help you land one of these renovated rooms, and Destinations to Travel can help you get one of those more renovated rooms. Kind of depends on when you're going to go. If you're going after next May, it's not a factor because all the rooms will be done by next May. To sum it all up, your family of 5 certainly would fit into a family suite, but I think you would be more comfortable booking 2 rooms at the Pop Century. We can link your rooms in the Disney system so that they assign rooms close together. You will get a better night's sleep, which always makes for a more enjoyable experience in the park the next day. And like I said, I totally agree with what Chris is saying. I would stick with the 2 rooms at the value resort rather than the family suite. Now, Chris is saying that even though the family suites are more expensive than the 2 rooms, so as a travel agent, he would make more money if you booked the family suites. But he's being honest that the 2 rooms at the Pop Century are a better thing. Now, you talk about wanting more together time. There's no reason you can't pile into one room and spend your time except for when it's time to go to bed. And sometimes, you know, families need some alone time. So it might be nice to not be stuck in the same small area, less than 600 square feet for a full week. There might be times when you want to be able to get out. I know when we've gotten 2 rooms at the Pop Century for our family, we've typically gotten connecting rooms where you can open the door and go back and forth. So it's possible that you'll get a connecting room. Disney, it depends on what time of year you're going. If you're going during the very busy very busy season, it's a little harder to get those connecting rooms with the door that you can open. But Disney does a really good job about putting families together. Very rarely do families get separated as long as they're on the same reservation or have the reservations tied together. All right, so bottom line, Dad's bottom line is, while the family suites are cool and sound cool, they're probably not best for 5 or 6 adults. All right, next question. This one's going to go by fast. Dad, can you suggest a good grocery delivery service that would deliver to Disney properties, like the Pop Century? How come everybody talks about the Pop? I don't talk about the Pop all the time. Yes, I do. Oh, that's probably why. We'll be staying in the Pop in December, and instead of traveling with a bottle of water and snacks, we thought of purchasing these items there. And of course, they're so expensive on Disney property, we thought of having these items delivered instead of getting a taxi, Uber, and wasting time at the grocery store while on vacation. Thank you. It's a great idea. Great idea to get your drinks and your snacks and your food delivered to the resort for you. We recommend Garden Grocer. Stephanie will put the link down in the comments. I just haven't checked out anybody else. I'm sure there are other services that do a good job, but I know Garden Grocer, and we've dealt with them for years. And that's who we recommend. We recommend Garden Grocery. Yeah, ordering those snacks, having them there, having them delivered to your room, great idea. Great idea. All right. Excuse me, got an itch. Sorry. No, that's not right, but it's got to be done. All right, here we go. Next question. By the way, this is the last question I've got. So if you've got questions, put them down in the comments. Looks like we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got plenty of time today, so put your comments, your questions in the comments, and I'll slow down and talk some more. Anyway, here we go. This one comes from Christopher in Massachusetts. There is no way my 10-year-old can order off the adult menu. He just does not eat enough. Will Disney question his age if I order off the kids menu? He will be 10, but he's not big for his age. I'm buying him the adult ticket to get him in the parks, but don't want to waste money on the adult meal at some of these restaurants. Do you think I can get away with it? Hey, Christopher. Yeah, the quick answer is yes, you can do it. It's not really a problem. Not really. There are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, yes. You can order off of the off of the kids menu. Even adults at the quick service restaurants can order off the child's menu. So that's not as much, that's not really a problem. It can be done. Not a problem at all. Sometimes at the table service restaurants, there could be a little problem, but a 10-year-old that is not big for his age, it's not really going to be that much of a problem. Disney does know that they're on an adult ticket if you use your Magic Bands. If you pay cash, how's Disney not even going to know? But there's a lot of information now on the Magic Bands that will tell them that even if you don't use his Magic Band, your whole family's information is on every Magic Band. So they would technically know that he is 10 years old, but they're not going to question it. You can order off of the he can order off the child's menu. The worst thing he's going to have to do is pay the adult price. Now, if you're going to somewhere like a buffet, one of the buffets, he might have to pay the adult price. But for the most part, yes, he can order off the child's menu. Now, the problem does come in if you're using the Disney dining plan. The Disney dining plan, if he is 10 years old, he will be on the adult plan. If he's got an adult ticket, he's going to be on the adult plan. So he will be charged the adult credit. He cannot use a child's credit. You can still order. what I see, what I read. I've never tried this, but from what I read, you can still order off of the child's menu, but you're going to get charged the adult credit. So the bottom line is, yes, you can. Your son will be able to order off the child's menu, but if you're using the dining plan, he will have to have the adult level of the dining plan and use those adult credits. So hope that helps, Christopher. Have a great time. All right, here we go. So it's time for your questions. Let's just jump right in and see what you have to say this week. By the way, if you have a question, now's the time to put it down in the comments. We'll get to it in a moment. While we're talking about this, hit that like button like 10 or 12 times. Wake me up. Hit that like button about 10 or 12 times. Watch me bounce up and down for a little bit. Hit the like, hit the love, hit the share button. We love it when you share. I better bounce because I can't tell if you're actually hitting the button, but I'll just bounce a little bit because you might be. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the share button, and just put comments down. Say, hello, Dad. We just love like, shares, comments. Anyway, so here we go. Your questions. If you've got a question, put it down in the comments. This one comes from Craig. We are looking at booking a room at the Polynesian. Oh, boy, I'd love to be there. Don't know much about it yet. What are the must-do items at the hotel? Craig, I love the Polynesian Resort. It's my favorite hotel at Walt Disney World. It's my favorite hotel in the whole wide world. It's a little out of my price range, but if you can afford it, it's well worth it to go see the Polynesian Resort. By the way, when you go to book, be sure to book with our partners at Destinations to Travel. We got lots of cool stuff for you. Dad's even got some cool stuff. You might end up with a subscription to WDW Magazine. Who knows? Dad, I give all kinds of cool stuff away for people who book with our partners at Destinations to Travel. So get a hold of them. The address will be down in the comments below. But anyway, so the Polynesian, the things I love about the Polynesian, the cool things, the tiki torch lighting ceremony at night. There's a guy that runs around and lights all the tiki torches around the hotel at night. I love boutique, the gift shop down on the front, on the lower level, right there as you come in to the left. Just love walking through that gift shop. I like Captain Cook's, like eating at Captain Cook's. I know it's just a quick service, but I think it's cool. I like eating at Captain Cook's. Love Ohana. Love eating at Ohana. I just love the atmosphere, the being able to sit around and just feel like you're on the islands. I've been to Hawaii. The first time I went to a hotel in Hawaii and walked into the hotel, I thought, man, I'm at the Polynesian. It really does have a really cool island feel. Just makes you feel like you're right there in the islands, and that's the pool. My favorite thing in the Polynesian is grabbing a Dole Whip. By the way, you can get Dole Whips there now too. Grabbing a Dole Whip, going out, sitting on the beach, and watching the fireworks over this Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom fireworks. I just love sitting on the beach and watching those fireworks from the beach at the Polynesian. I don't know. I went and worked in Orlando a couple of times. And one thing I would do while I was working would be to take a night, go over and grab some dinner, then go over to the Polynesian. Took a couple of my buddies one night, went over to the Polynesian. We watched the electrical water pageant and then the fireworks at the Magic Kingdom. The guys still talk about it. It was just such a fun time. So that's one of the things you have to do while you're at the Polynesian. Again, get in touch with our partners at Destinations to Travel and let them help you make all your reservations. All right, so next question. Here we go. Dad, what is your opinion of the Beach Club Resort as we are staying there in November? Well, Christine, that was from Christine, by the way. Christine, I've never stayed at the Beach Club. I'm planning. We've got a trip scheduled next year in April, May. We've got a trip scheduled next year where we're going to stay at the beach club. I have stayed at the yacht club right next door. They're sister hotels. They're just pretty much alike. I love the access to Epcot and to Hollywood Studios. You can go over to the lighthouse and grab a boat and go right down to Hollywood Studios, be there in 10, 15 minutes. You can walk right into Epcot. You're right there on the boardwalk. Really, really great locations. Probably the best hotel location of any of the hotels at Walt Disney World. And I include the Contemporary in that. I think the access to Epcot, the boat down to Hollywood Studios, the boardwalk gives it probably the best access of any hotel at Walt Disney World. Now, the drawbacks is you don't have access, really easy access to quick service. There's not a lot of quick service, especially breakfast. So we like quick service breakfast. That's why we like the Pop Century. One of the reasons we like the Pop Century, we like going over to Everything Pop for breakfast, grabbing an omelet, grabbing something for breakfast. We just like those quick service breakfasts. The beach club, the yacht club, the boardwalk, they really don't have that as an option. It's not really much of an option in most of the deluxe resorts, but I know the yacht club really, really didn't have much at all for breakfast. So I love the location of the beach club. Cape May Cafe is great. I do like the beach club, but the morning quick service options just are a little lacking. All right. Here we go. Next question. Stephanie asks, how is the weather in January? Stephanie, we went a couple of years ago in January. We were there right after the marathon. We were actually there on Marathon Day, the first marathon that runs the weekend after January 1st. So it can be cold. If a cold front, typically the weather is very good. Lows in the 50s, highs in the 70s, really, really nice weather. But it also can get cold. You get a cold front comes through. This happens in the wintertime, November through February. If you get a cold front comes through, doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. It could get down around 40, 35. You could get that low. I won't say that's rare. It happens. But typically, the weather is really nice, a little cool. It's not the summertime heat. Although I was there in December last December, and it was like 93 one day. So you can have both extremes. You can have the heat, you can have the cold. But typically, the weather is very nice. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. It's kind of the dry time of year, so you don't really have to worry a lot about rain. All right, I hope that answered your question there, Stephanie. Carol asks, have you heard anything about Hall of Presidents opening? Carol, no, get that question. It seems like almost every day now. When I open up my Facebook and I get questions, it seems like that question comes up almost every day. No, I haven't heard anything. I'll be sure and let you know as soon as I do. But my guess is it's imminent. What does that mean? In the next month, we'll probably hear it's open. They got to get it open before I go, right? I'm going to be there in 6 weeks. Disney, hey, I'm going to be there in 6 weeks. You need to get the Hall of Presidents open so I can have my power napping station. That's something right out of the book. You got to read that in the book. Anyway, so don't know. Hopefully it'll be there soon. Patty asks, how bad is it going to be Thanksgiving week? We get there the night of the 18th and leave Saturday after Thanksgiving. And along with that, Jill asks, do you expect the crowds to change the week after Thanksgiving and so many people rescheduled from Irma? Patty, let's start with you. Thanksgiving week is one of the busiest weeks of the year. I would say it's kind of like a summer week, but summer has come down so much it's not even that busy. It's busier than that now. It's not Christmas crazy. It's not where parks will be packed every day. The pattern is the crowds build during the week. Monday is not terrible. Tuesday, Sunday is okay. Monday's okay. Tuesday starts to get moved into that heavy phase. Wednesday, a little heavier. Thursday, pretty heavy. Not crazy heavy like Christmas Day, but heavy crowds for sure. Heavy crowds. Friday, it'll start trending down. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, boom, goes off the wall. What do I mean by heavy crowds? I mean for the big rides, the roller coasters, the Peter Pan's Flight, those rides that always have the long lines, probably 2-hour waits. Whereas Christmas week, it'll be 3 to 4 hour waits. Probably 2-hour waits on those kind of rides. The moderate level rides that would typically have 45-minute waits will be up around an hour and a half. And so you will definitely see those heavy crowds during the week, but the pattern is it'll go up and then it'll come back down. It's not a crazy week by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a busy week. And then as to the week after Thanksgiving and Jill's question about the Irma rescheduling, Irma, it won't be that big of a factor. Yes, there will be a few people. Let's just say Irma hit during probably one of the 2 slowest weeks of the year. So the number of people actually there during Irma was not really that high. So and the percentage of those people that are going to come back the week after Thanksgiving is fairly low. I would say you're probably talking 10 to 20% of those people would be able to come back that quickly. So if you're talking about a slow week where there's only, say, 50,000 people at Walt Disney World, that's probably about right. I don't know. So you're only adding like 5,000 to 10,000 people to that week after Thanksgiving. That might bump it up from light to just barely moderate crowds, but it's not going to have a huge impact. We're not talking about going from light to heavy or from moderate to heavy. We're talking about just a bump in crowds, not a big change in the crowd levels. All right, so next question. By the way, we've got 1, 2, 3 more questions. So if you've got a question to ask, now's the time to put it down in the comments, and we'll get right to it. All right, Sandy asks, hi, Dad, what is your opinion of the value of the Memory Maker package? Sandy, I've talked about the Memory Maker package before. If you have a large family, multiple families going together, it's no-brainer. Memory Maker is a good deal for multiple families. Now, if there's only one family, you kind of got to look. Are you the type of family that takes lots of pictures? If you are, then Memory Maker might not be such a good deal because you're going to take the pictures anyway. If you want lots of pictures of your family together, all of your family together, and not somebody taking the picture and somebody always getting left out. The story that really changed my mind about Memory Maker was one of the people we know at church. Mom, dad, 2 kids. Mom died of cancer. And about a year after she died, Dad wrote a blog post about they don't have any pictures of Mom because Mom was always the picture taker. And it was a really sad thing. They were lamenting the fact that they don't have enough pictures of Mom. So if that's the way your family work, if it's Dad, it would be Dad in our family. If it's Mom, if it's whoever takes the pictures, if you want to get them into the pictures and have a lot of pictures, Memory Maker is a good deal. Also kind of depends on how long you're going to be at Walt Disney World. Memory Maker's one price, $169, I think. $169, and that's for your whole trip. If you buy when you get there, it's a little more expensive, but that's for your whole trip, whether it's 1 day or 10 days or 14 days or 21 days, you pay the same price. So if you're going for 7 to 10 days or longer, Memory Maker is a good deal. It gets you all of the ride photos. It gets you special pictures in some places. You can stop at any PhotoPass photographer and get your picture taken. It's a great thing for family photos. But if you're just you by yourself, I don't get it when I go by myself. But when the whole family goes, when Mrs. Mom and I go, we don't get it. But when the whole family goes, yeah, absolutely. We are going to get Memory Maker. All right. Hope that helps. All right, here we go. Suzanne asks, we will probably be using rider swap. We have 2 littles on some rides. There will be 11 of us. Does everyone have to have a fast pass in order to utilize rider swap? Suzanne, I believe so. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if only one person had a fast pass and all 11 of you got to ride a ride off of that one fast pass. Then you'd be able to get 33 fast passes instead of just 3. So yes, everybody has to have a fast pass. That's just the way it works. All right. Angie asks, we only got 2 more questions, so last call for questions. Then we're going to wrap it up a little early today. Angie asks, hi, we made our fast pass selection on Monday. Cool. My sister-in-law is listed under our friends and family on My Disney Experience. She's going at the same time. Can we both make fast pass reservations for our group using our separate accounts at the same time? Angie, probably can, but it sounds like something that, yeah, I think you can. But it sounds like a little bit of a coordination nightmare. Yes, you could say, okay, I'm going to make Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're going to make Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I guess that could work, but I can't say for sure. I think it would work, but I've never tried it, so I don't know for sure. I think it would work because I've had multiple windows open before trying to do it. That was several years ago. No, that was making 80 yards, which got to be a problem. But I think it's possible, but I've never tried it, so I don't know for sure. Try it. You might be able to do it. Just be sure you've got it well coordinated who's going to do what before you get started. All right. Last question I've got. If you've got any more questions, stick them up here quickly. We don't have any more after this one. I am going to cut it off. Any tips on getting Rivers Life package for Tusker House the week after Thanksgiving? We've had no luck checking multiple times a day. That's from Jill. Jill, I can tell you that the problem is not the Rivers of Light package. More than likely, the problem is not the Rivers of Light package. Those are not booked up. The problem is the Tusker House reservation. If you already have, I had somebody sent me a note this week that says, Dad, because we talked about this last week, I think. I had somebody sent me a note this week, Dad, you know everything, you're so smart. I am, just kidding. But one thing you can try, now this has a little risk, but one thing you can try is to, if you've already got a Tusker House reservation, cancel that and immediately go in and try to rebook it with a Rivers of Light package. There is a good possibility that the canceled reservation will be available for you to book with Rivers of Light. That's how I did it. This other person that I talked to, that's the way she did it. So that is a way that it could possibly be done. You cancel your Tusker House reservation if you have one, and boom, that will show up to be booked for a Rivers of Light dining package. It has worked multiple times. I know several people have had that work. So that is about the only way it is going to work. For some reason, it used to be that you could make a reservation, then when the dining packages, this was especially true of the Candlelight Procession, when the dining packages were announced, you could call Disney and they could put the dining package on your reservation. That's not true anymore. So try, if you've got a Tusker House reservation, cancel it. This comes with risk because you might lose your Tusker House reservation. So cancel your Tusker House reservation and go and try to book the Rivers of Light dining package. My guess is it'll be there. So, but there is some risk in that. You could lose your Tusker House reservation. But the problem is not the Tusker, the problem is the Tusker House. It's not the Rivers of Light. All right, a couple more questions came in, and these will be the last two. After this, we're going to call it quits. Okay, can you tell me what you think about DVC rentals? If you're talking specifically about Dave's DVC rental, or I don't know, he's got lots of different names for his company, which handles the transactions between the DVC person and the person renting the points. If you're talking about that company, that's the company we recommend. I've been recommending DVC rental, Dave's DVC rentals, however he calls that company. I've been recommending them for years, probably for 8 of the 9 years that I've been around. I've actually interviewed Dave for the WDW magazine last year. Nice guy, great interview. He's got a great business model. I do like the business model. It gives people the opportunity. Both sides win. Somebody can rent points, which is cheaper. Somebody can rent their points and make money. That's a good model. And that is the answer to the other question. Renting points. What do I think about renting points? I like it. I've done it. I've done it twice. Saved me a ton of money both times. First time was a little nervous, made me a little nervous because it was somebody I didn't know. There was no middleman. There was no, it just made me very nervous. It worked fine. Second time I rented for from local friends, so I didn't have any problem with that. But I like the option of being able to rent DVC points. You can get into those deluxe, and especially the deluxe villas, for really cheap. I don't think Disney likes that very much. I think Disney would like to put an end to it. They may one of these days, because there is a clause in the DVC owner's contract that says they can't do that, but they haven't put an end to it yet. Anyway, so there you go. That's what I think. All right, last question. Here we go. When do you think they will allow Rivers of Light dining packages in January? Right now, it only goes through December. Desiree, that was from Desiree, by the way. Desiree, I have no clue. I've been on this kick for months. Every month, it's the same thing. We were trying, we booked our ADRs, we're going in October, so 180 days prior to that, so we booked our ADRs in April, and the Rivers of Light dining package wasn't available till April, May, June, July. I think finally in August, it finally came out. And what you're going to find is the same problem we just talked about a few minutes ago. Same problem I faced was, especially if you have a Tusker House reservation, you're not going to be able to make a Rivers of Light dining package reservation because Tusker House is going to be booked up. So you won't be able to find times at Tusker House because it books up pretty much every year. So you won't be able to book a Rivers of Light dining package. If you don't have a reservation, make a reservation. And you want to go to Tusker House, make a reservation if you can, so that you can do the cancel it and rebook thing if that becomes available. When will they open it? I think Disney is not sure about Rivers of Light itself. I think they are thinking about, I know they are thinking about shutting it down for a while. So I think that is kind of the issue that they're going through. I just, from what I heard, they were going to shut it down in October for a while. They were going to, and I did a big rant about this, about how they're kind of killing the nighttime entertainment, and they need to stop it. But from what I've heard is that they really want to shut Rivers of Light down to get people to go to Pandora. Now, why they need to do that, Pandora is packed, I don't understand. But that was the justification for shutting down Rivers of Light. I also think maybe it needs a little refresh, and they were going to do that, but I don't know. Rivers of Light, they're really messing people over on Rivers of Light, and they need to stop it. It's just wrong what they're doing. But that's a Disney thing. I don't work for Disney. I don't speak for Disney. I love Disney, but they do some stupid stuff, and this is one of the stupid stuff that they do. Anyway, all right, that's it. That's Lunch with Dad. We're a little bit early, but that's okay. Thanks to our Celebration Shirts for sponsoring Lunch with Dad this week. Don't forget, we've got that calendar sale going on this week. Free shipping. Free shipping is pretty cool. You get free shipping on anything you order as long as you order the calendar. But free shipping this week through Sunday night, midnight Sunday night, that'll go away. So grab your calendar, get your stickers, and your beautiful, beautiful calendar. And hopefully I'll see you at Disney World in November. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching Dad's video. For more simple, fun, magic Walt Disney World information, go to Dad's Guide to WDW.com. You can do that by clicking the I button that's popping up on the screen right now. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and get more Dad's YouTube videos with Daditude.